me to introduce Lina. So Lina is the National Organizing Secretary of the Progressive Democratic Party, Councillor for the City of Kuching South, Chairman of Sabarkas Pending, and Assistant Secretary of Sabarkas Sarawak, formerly the co-chair of the Sarawak CSO SDG Alliance Pro-Tem Committee. She is also founder of Affirmative Employment, a job training and job matching provider for rural women in Sarawak. A firm believer in gender equality, she coordinates the yearly PurpleLily Girls Aspiration and Leadership Camp in Kuching, Sarawak. She has been selected as a finalist for the Entrepreneur for Good Award by the British Council, a professional fellow for the Young Southeast Asian Leadership Initiative under the US State Department, a selected participant of the Magic Stanford Graduate School of Business Go-to-Market Program, and winner of the local Soup for Good crowdfunding event in Kuching. So this is an introduction about Lina. So allow me to have Lina to share a little bit more about herself and then carry on with the sharing. So Lina, please take away.
Okay, thank you, Malcolm. Hi, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is still here and feeling awake and ready to learn today. I think that was a pretty long introduction, so that's pretty much enough about myself. But I will be talking about PurpleLily today, and we will be running through one of our workshops. I don't mind if you guys unmute your mics and then we can respond. If you're feeling shy, you can also respond in the chat box, but I don't mind at all. Actually, I prefer if you unmute your mics and then we can have an interactive session. So is it okay if they do that, Malcolm?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I would prefer if you guys unmute your mic and then we can have a chat, and because this is a two-way kind of workshop. Yeah. Okay, so you all can see the screen now, yeah?
Yes, we
okay.
can.
Thank you. Okay, so just a little bit about PurpleLily. So we are an organization founded in 2012, so coming up to our 10-year anniversary now. And so our core program is to provide life skills training and financial literacy training to rural women. So we started with a lot of rural programs, and then from there we moved on to girls. So we have a lot of girls programs as well, which I'm in charge of. So every year I organize our girls camp, and it's basically the same thing. So we do life skills training with them and also financial literacy. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the next slide. I do apologize, my slide's a little bit laggy. When I click, it takes a while to go to the next one. Okay, so these are what we actually do. So with life skills training, in the next slide, I'll actually show you what that actually means. Financial literacy training, we do training of trainers. So what that means is we go to a group of women, for example. So we go there and deliver our workshop, and then they go back and deliver the workshop to their group of friends or to their community. And then they come back to us and give us the feedback, and then we continue until they finish all the programs that we have available. So that's similar to our PurpleLily Girls program. So we actually went to a few schools in Bau. And so how it works is we will go there and we would deliver our life skills training workshop, and they would go back and they would have a group of 5 friends that they would deliver the training to. We give them 3 weeks to do that. And so when they've done that, they collect the feedback and then come back to us, and then we go through, how was the training program, and then before we go on to the next workshop, and then they keep doing that until it's 7-month programs until they finish our repertoire of training workshops. So that's actually a really good program to build leadership, and also it teaches girls how to be mentors among their peer group. Because a lot of it, it's different when you have an adult coming to, a teenager telling you, oh, you should be like this, about when it's a teenager guiding another teenager, or when it's teenage girl mentoring other teenage girls. It's completely different. It also builds leaders within the community. We also have the PurpleLily Girls Camp, which I organize every year. So obviously last year we couldn't do our Girls Camp, but for the last 3 years, we have been running a 3-day, 2-night program where girls go to the camp, they sleep in the tent together, you know, they sleep, shower, eat, learn together. And hopefully next year we'll be able to continue and do more camps for our girls across Sarawak. Okay, we also partner with local NGOs. We get a lot of requests from other NGOs to come and do training for their participants. And through our founder, Jeanette Collin, who is based in KL, we've also done a lot of international work. So we've partnered with other NGOs in Nepal, Ladakh, Peru, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and we've done life skills training and financial education there as well. Okay. So sex education, I'm not sure why it comes up first, but sex education is our latest module and also our most popular module in the camp. So this is a list of our training workshops. Building confidence, my personal favorite. Goal setting, motivation, positive thinking is what we will be going through today. Stress management, 5 healthy habits, and communication skills. There will be a little bit of assertive communication today as well, if we do have time. And of course, financial literacy. So just to touch a little bit on financial literacy. So usually when we teach financial education, people talk about income, right? When you get income, you minus the expenses, then what's left over is your savings. But our approach is to have income, then you minus off whatever. So every month you have a savings goal. So you have income minus off how much savings you want to save. And then whatever's left over, that's how much you're going to spend your expenses. So that's the core of our financial literacy approach, right? These are just some pictures from our girls camp. So this is actually the first activity that normally the girls would do. And usually here they are like really shy and awkward with each other. But by the end of 3 days, they're hugging and crying and saying their goodbyes because literally they've spent 72 hours together all the time. And so that's a really good way for girls to form their own community and for them to build friendships. We also always encourage our girls to come and do presentations, to speak up. And you can really see from the first day to the last day, their confidence really builds. And a large part of that is also knowing that they are in a safe space, that everybody trusts each other, there's honesty and there's respect. So for today's workshop, we'll also carry those values through. I hope everybody here will respect each other's opinions and know that you're in a safe space where you can safely say what you want to say and your views will be heard and respected. Okay, we also, during our camp, we also get speakers from different industries to come and talk to the girls. So the girls camp is actually called Leadership and Aspiration Camp. So one of the core reasons that we wanted to do this camp was because personally, when I was 15, 16, 17, I had no idea what I wanted to go on to, what kind of career path I wanted to go on to. And so I didn't want girls to go through that again. So I wanted to give them an idea of what different industries look like, to tickle their imagination and think, oh, okay, I think I want to explore this path, or I think I want to go into this career in the future. So this is my friend, Dr. Joki. She's a doctor who came to talk to the girls about career in medicine. This is Nanti. Nanti is a nurse. She also came to share her experience working as a nurse. All very passionate people who love their career. We had an architect. We had Mona as well. Mona has been mentioned by Nadia. Mona is very popular. So Mona also came in to talk to our girls about business and event management. We had an artist, we had a translator, so people from different industries coming in just to give girls an idea of what they can achieve or what they can go on to do. Some pictures from our girls' camp. So that's the not the flying fox, what do you call it? Rappelling. Some of the girls actually had a huge fear of heights, and so they were crying when they were going up. And so it was, after they did it, they were like, oh, I achieved something, I overcame something, which is something we always want to encourage our girls. So obstacle course, that's me over there. I always much prefer to be in the supporting role rather than to be the one going through it. And this, I just had to include because this is our claim to fame. So the Duchess of Cornwall, when Camilla came with Charles to Sarawak a few years back, she actually requested that we do a sex education workshop. So we put together a group of girls and then we did our sex education workshop. And it was actually from there that we got our sponsor to run our first girls camp because they were so impressed. I mean, we were saying words like Faraj, like vagina, up on the big screen. And then our sponsor came up to us afterwards and said, wow, you guys are so brave. But you know what? These are all technical terms that people shouldn't be afraid of saying. So, that's how then the sponsor came to us and said, okay, how can we help you? And so that's how our girls camp kicked off. This is Puan Suraya, our president. That's Jeanette, our founder. This is Erin, who's our facilitator. And, that was just a really, really fun day. And it's something really interesting, I guess, for all of us, interesting experience. Okay, so that's PurpleLily. So now we're going to go into our workshop. This is what it actually feels like. So you guys will be participants in our workshop. So this workshop was actually designed by Jeanette, our founder, but the last person who presented this workshop was our facilitator in the girls camp was Jody from Sarawak Children Cancer Society. So I have to give credit to her as well for tweaking some of these slides and for adding her own flavor to it. Okay, so is everybody ready? Okay. So hopefully you guys can unmute your mic and then we can respond, or I'll keep checking the comment box as well just to see if you guys have any response, but it is a little bit tricky to check the chat box. Okay, so what do you guys see? Yeah, hold on. Let me try to check the chat box. So it's not really coming up because I'm on full screen right now. So I would appreciate it if you guys could unmute your mic and then we can just go, question, answer.
Rabbit.
Rabbit? Okay. Any other answers?
A bird.
Okay, yeah. Duck. Many people would say duck or rabbit. Yeah, correct. So how about this? This is a very normal one, the usual one that people share. Like, is the glass half empty or half full?
Half full.
Oh, possible. Okay, so positive thinking, what it comes down to is about shaping your perspective. So like we saw earlier, some people see things as a rabbit, some people see things as a duck, some people see things half full, half empty. So it's about how you control your thoughts, how you see things, shaping your own perspective, taking control of your mind and your thoughts. And that's how you can change your world, or how you see, or how things happen to you by changing how you think about things. Okay, so it's not a very complicated workshop. It all comes down to this one thing. And then today, so we'll see how this technique that we learned today can actually help us to shape the way we think, how we see things, how to feel thankful during this time. Because actually I chose this workshop out of all the workshops to present today because I feel like during this time, there's a lot of change happening. And I think most of you are university students, right? So in this 1 year, you've gone back and forth about, are you going to uni? Are you going to continue staying with family? There's a lot of change happening and a lot of uncertainty. So I know a lot of people feel very stressed, very pressured during this time. So I thought positive thinking is a good one to go through at this time, just to give you some skills and some ideas on how you can feel, you can manage this situation better. Okay, so in today's workshop, we'll find out what positive thinking actually is, what are the benefits for positive thinking, how you can develop positive thinking, and also some very quick tools which you can use outside of this workshop. Right. Okay, so normally we have group activities, but obviously, because we are all on Zoom, these will be individual activities. So hopefully some of you will be able to share your answers. If you're feeling shy, you can comment. But if you feel up to it, do unmute your mics and share the answers, okay? So positive thinking. What is positive thinking and how does it affect you? So just take, well, it's supposed to be 3 minutes, but let's just take 1 minute to think about what are some words that mean thinking to you? What does positive thinking actually mean to you? And how does it affect you? All right, so I'll just set our timer to 1 minute. In the meantime, if you have answers, do unmute your mic and share, or do comment in the comment box. Okay, I've opened up the chat box, so if you want to share, you can type it out there. So just what are some words that positive thinking means to you?
Hello, Miss.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Hi, who am I
Yeah,
speaking?
can I share?
Claire? Okay, hi.
Oh, I Ling. Ling.
Oh, Ling.
Ling,
Hi,
how?
sorry.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. Good morning. I want to share my answer.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. And for me, positive thinking is think everything is good, and how it affect me is I can control my emotions and not disturb the others. I think the positive thinking very good because not make the condition into a very stressful way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
That's all.
sharing. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll get 2 more people if they want to. Otherwise, we have answers in the comment box as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, my name is Jessie.
Hi, Jessie.
Yeah. What is positive thinking for me is that be kind, be nice, and unbothered.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful answer.
And how it affect me, it's helped me to feel less anxious because I have like anxiety. So men help more like okay, like stop thinking about others and more. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. That was a really good answer. Okay, one last person. Anybody? Okay, then we'll move on. I'll just read out some of the answers in the chat box. Really good answers, everybody. So you're saying positive thinking is looking at things in a better way, looking at the good side, something that makes you feel good. It affects our emotion. Yeah, it can affect you to be more motivated to do something. Yeah, that's really true. Looking at the bright side, not letting bad things affect you, thinking there's always a light out of in the tunnel. That's really good. That's true. Optimistic thinking, yes. Making the positive out of a bad situation. Yeah. So basically, a lot of you know that it's about thinking, right? Not thinking about things that are bad and then thinking about things that are positive. The silver lining. Yes, excellent answers, everybody. Thank you for sharing. All right, so let's just have a look at some of the answers. So it builds up your confidence about being optimistic, having a strong mental attitude. I know that's easier said than done. You know, having a positive outlook. A lot of you mentioned that. Developing resilience, controlling your negative thoughts, controlling your emotions. A lot of you mentioned that too. Helping to deal with setbacks, setting and achieving goals. One of you mentioned motivating, so that was really good. Also, it's good for your well-being and being able to refrain. So a lot of you talked about not thinking about bad things and then focusing on the bright side. That's reframing. So we're going to go deeper into that later on how to reframe. And I know one of you mentioned anxiety just now. I know anxiety now is it's very common, especially during this time, this 1.5 years when we were all in the lockdown. So I just want you to know that, you know, you are not alone. A lot of people share the same feeling. A lot of people are feeling the same way, feeling very anxious, very uncertain. So if you know, the best thing you can do is reach out to somebody. So talk to a friend, talk to a professional, talk to a guidance professional, you know, call Befrienders. There's a group called Befrienders where they have a hotline and you can call them. If you're feeling like you can't manage your emotions at the time, you can give them a call and someone can talk to you professionally. So yeah, so I just want to say it's not anything negative at this, you know, we live in an era, thankfully, where it's more open. It's okay to talk about it now, and we know that it's okay to not be okay. So just know that you're not alone, and you know, help is always available. Okay, so positive thinking is a mental attitude that brings thoughts, words, images that help you to grow, that help you to feel like you can handle anything, and also to help you to achieve your goals as well. Okay, it's the training of your mind to choose positive, to cherry pick what kind of thoughts go through your mind. So that was, a lot of you mentioned that. And remember how I shared about Hannah Yo's session yesterday? There was someone really like doing a lot of ugly commenting, and she was the same. So she would block out negative things, and this is what we call cherry picking. She would cherry pick things that she wants to read or she wants to think about. So we can all do that in our mind as well. And it's called mentally focusing on things that give you a positive outcome. Okay, so what are the benefits? Like a lot of you mentioned, you feel better, your behavior will be affected as well. Generally, if your mind is positive, or if you know that if your mind feels that you can handle everything, you will naturally have this confidence, and that affects your behavior, and that also affects what aspirations you have, what dreams you have, and your performance, and then your mood. So everything starts with your thoughts. Okay, this is another activity which we would normally do. We'll give, this picture is like that because we normally give a worksheet with a flower and you write a positive thing in each petal, but we'll do that virtually now. So I just want you to think about 2 things that make you feel positive. So very quickly, just write down 2 things that make you feel positive. And then if you want, you can share later. So I'll again check the comment box. You can comment, or you can unmute your mic. Oh, that's sweet. We're watching your pet smile. Yes, pets are really good emotional animals. I have 2 dogs myself, and they also make me smile every day. Exercising, yes, that's a big one. Exercising, especially for me, first thing in the morning, just get exercise out of the way. That really makes me feel motivated and sets the day. Yeah, playing with your cat, playing with your pet. Sometimes when I'm feeling stressed, even just touching my pet, you know, that physical touch makes a lot of difference. When everything's going smoothly, yes, getting enough sleep, that's an important one. Spending time with nature, gardening, that's a good one. Looking at family photos, yes. There's actually a an exercise that you can do as well. It's when you're feeling stressed, you go look at pictures of baby animals, and that makes you feel like, okay, I'm back to being positive again. Yes, remembering your family and friends, screaming. Yes, a good way to get, as an outlet for you to release your stress. Watching K-drama, yes, I definitely agree. Okay, so really good answers about what makes you feel positive. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Okay, so like we mentioned earlier, a lot of it comes from thoughts. So it's a cycle. When you have controlled your thoughts affect your feelings, which affects your actions. And from your actions, you get the results, the consequences. And when you repeat doing something and you keep seeing the same results, that actually builds your beliefs. So that's where your beliefs come from, because you see something happening and then you see the results. And from there, that's how you build your beliefs. But all of it came from your thoughts. And by controlling your thoughts, you are also like continually to control your thoughts. That's how you build a habit. So for example, myself, I used to look at pictures of myself and think, oh, I look so fat, or I look so ugly there. But then, like consciously, I started thinking, if other people, like my friends never say that about me. So if I look at my picture from a different, like from their perspective, I think I actually look okay. And so I keep thinking those kind of thoughts. And then that affects how I feel, because then when I look at pictures of myself, I think, oh, okay, actually I look pretty good. And then that affects my actions. So I'm no longer like so shy to take photos. And then, so then you have more memories with people. So this is just a very simple example of how I think about other people. But also, let's say, for example, as well, especially in our culture, I'm not sure about you all, but I had a very tiger mom. So she is always very critical of people. So I would always, like when I was younger, I would always not only criticize myself, but I would always think of other people and think critical thoughts of them too. Until I decided, okay, I'm just going to stop thinking about people like that and just look at what good they are doing and take things on the surface. So let's say if somebody is being nice, I would take that like on the surface. Okay, they are nice people. Like I wouldn't think deeper into that. So then eventually, like it was actually quite fast. Like eventually over a few months, I realized, I'm not even thinking negatively about people anymore. I started thinking, people are actually nice. And then that affects like, oh, okay, I actually think the world is actually much better. Not everybody's out to get you, or not everybody is mean. And then that really affected my actions as well. So you become a nicer person too. And then, you start affecting people around you as well. So that's how you become a positive person too. Just sharing some of what I have myself have gone through. Okay, so we're going to go into some techniques now on how to develop positive thinking. We talked earlier about reframing, turning negatives into positives. So, and we're going to do this really cute exercise. It's really simple. It's called bubble up, bubble down. And then we're going to look at the gratitude journal. Okay. All right. So reframing, I think a lot of you are pretty familiar with reframing by now. So let's look at an example of someone who thinks negatively. So this person's belief is, being a mother is so stressful, which actually can be true. And a lot of people go into parenthood thinking that, because I suppose you see that around you a lot. So you have this core belief already, because you keep seeing it and it keeps being reinforced that being a mother is stressful. And so when you believe that, then you keep thinking, I'm just too tired today because I'm a working mom as well. And I'm too busy to play and rest because I have to do everything. And then from there, you start feeling stressed, you feel overwhelmed, and then you keep getting angry with your family, and then you're working yourself to the bone. And then, and from there, you get all these different results. You feel physically, you don't feel well, you don't get anything done because you're just feeling so overwhelmed and stressed all the time. So overall, she was just stressed because that was her core belief. But let's say she practices reframing, or she tries to reframe how she thinks and what she believes. So let's just say she practiced gratitude and say, okay, I'm so thankful I get to be a mom, because especially now it's not so easy to be a mother. I'm so grateful I have my children here with me. And then that changes her beliefs and then her thoughts. Now I feel like I can handle everything. So if something comes my way, I believe I can find a solution. And so when she's confident, she has that confidence that she can handle it. She feels relaxed. She feels like she's in control, and she's able to then play with her children because, she doesn't feel stressed. And so in the end, everybody benefits, not only her as a mom, but her children, her family. Everybody feels like, the world is a better place. Okay, so now it's your turn. So this is a very private sharing, so you can absolutely choose whether you want to share or not. I'm not going to ask you to share if you don't want to, but you can list 3 challenges or 3 painful moments in your life. So I'll just give you 1 minute, sorry, 5 minutes usually because it's a group discussion, but I'll give you 1 minute just to write down 3 moments that you feel is especially challenging or painful in your life. Okay, everybody, I just found out that when I check my message box, that time is up. We're actually over 5 minutes. So I'm really sorry we couldn't go through it properly. It looks so simple when you do the slides, but then when it comes to delivering it, then I always end up going over time. So 3 challenges. Then I want you to go back and just try to reframe it. So change it from a negative to a positive. Well, I just take 5 more minutes to wrap up, yeah? Okay, so do less all the negatives and then do more of the positives. I'm sure you all know this as well. Okay, so from that previous activity, when you write down those 3 challenging activities that you have, try to think, okay, first, what's the other perspective for you to look at the situation? And then secondly, what are the good things that have happened or that you have learned from these challenges or painful moments? So for me, so 2 months ago, exactly 2 months ago, I lost my mother. And while it was very sad for me, I was really very, we all miss her. But at the same time, I'm so incredibly grateful that we all got to we got to be with her during the last moments. We all got to say goodbye to her. We got to make sure she had everything settled. And so she was in peace when she left. So for me, I always remember that gratitude that we had that last moment with her. So that's one example of how you look at things, and also a good thing that came out from one of these challenges. Okay, bubble up, bubble down very easily. Every day I want you to think, write down 1 bubble down means 1 bad thing that happened to you, but then you put down 1 good thing that happened to you. So very easy, just bubble up, bubble down. Remember to be careful how you talk to yourself because you yourself, you are listening, okay? Okay, let me go to the next slide. Okay, this is a really effective way for me to manage how I think. So it's about being grateful. And one thing you can do that is to keep a gratitude journal. Okay, so every day, so this activity we run through during the workshop, right? 10 things, but at home, you can just spend 5 minutes each day. You can do it at the beginning of the day. You can do it at the end of the day. It's up to you. Write down 3 things that you are grateful for every day. It can be really simple. I'm thankful that I got to eat my favorite food today. I'm thankful that I got to go for a run today. The weather was good. Simple things like that. And these are some quick tools that you can use for Outside the Workshop. This is actually something we have actually practiced. So it's called thought stopping. So you can actually wear a rubber band around your wrist, just one of those those cheap rubber bands. So every time you think a negative thought, you snap the rubber band. And that actually stops you from, that makes you aware of how many mental thoughts, negative thoughts you have. Okay, that's similar to gratitude, think three positives, and then your mantra, affirmation. Affirmation is a really quick, short phrase that you can use to pick yourself up really quickly. So I do this before a job interview, or if I'm going into a stressful situation, I should go to a bathroom and then I do the V pose for victory and I repeat my affirmation to myself. So for example, I am a confident person, or I am capable. So something really short, easy, and positive. Okay, so we're supposed to go into assertive communication, but clearly we don't have time for that. So I'm really sorry. But that's all I can cover for today. Okay, you can always reach out to us, follow us on Facebook, that's our website, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you, and I'm sorry I ran over time. So back to you, Malcolm.
Thank you so much, Lina.